So, are you getting picked down by your bullies on a daily basis, but you can't fight back, but you want to? This video is for you. You are getting into street fights, but you can't fight back. This video is for you. I'll teach you how to defend yourself and learn boxing at home. So, let's get started. So, obviously, the first thing you need to do is get yourself a bag and some gloves and a wraps. Those wraps you need to protect your hands while you're hitting that bag and tire, whatever. Okay, how you can set up that tire and rope, I'll be playing a clip right here. Okay, you can, that's one way of setting it up, so you'll get a decent idea on how to set that up. Make sure that you're getting yourself the gloves, bag, tire and rope. If you're getting bag, you don't need tire and rope, obviously. I'll just link some good gloves, cheap and good gloves in the description. I also link a cheap bag in the description. Your tire, you can just go to any mechanic shop and get yourself a tire. Rope, you can get that in any hardware store. So yeah, I'll also link those wraps in the description. So first thing is that don't go and confront your bullies right after you started boxing for like what, 2 to 3 days. Don't do that, all right? Obviously you'll get hurt. You don't know anything about fighting. You'll gain that confidence after 2 to 3 days, but I think it's better to confront them after training for like at least 2 to 3 weeks. You'll get better at throwing those punches and you can land them with accuracy, all right? So don't go and just confront your bullies after you start boxing for 2 to 3 days, all right? You need to work on your technique. You need to build that power and that speed. All right. I'll make a separate video on them, on how to throw those punches, because I don't think I can sit and explain here. I'll just be giving you a blueprint on how to get started at home. All right. So yeah, that's the first thing. So the second thing is your routine. How do you start boxing? So let's start with shadow boxing. All right. Why shadow boxing? Shadow boxing builds your gas tank. All right. So obviously, if you can last longer when you're punching, it will be useful even if you get into a street fight. Obviously, if you're fighting a guy who hasn't fought in his life, even if he fights, he throws his long as wide hooks or he throws his long as wide punches. Obviously, you can make him tired. You can dodge though. If you are learning boxing, you'll also learn defenses. So obviously, you can make him tired, get him tired. After he gets tired, you can go in with those barrage of punches. All right. So you'll have that upper hand even in street fight if you are boxing, if you are practicing shadow boxing, all that. So I'll give you a shadow boxing routine for beginner. If you are just starting out, do 3 minute 4 rounds of shadow boxing with 30 seconds of rest in between of them. I'll just add this text. Just follow this routine. All right. Mm. After you're done with your shadow boxing, also make sure that you're pushing yourself to the limit in shadow boxing. All right. So that's the key. Of course, you're building that cardio for that fight. It's like preparing for a fight. All right. So basically, yeah. Also, imagine that an opponent is in front of you and you're hitting him, right? He's hitting you and you're dodging those punches and you're hitting him back. Imagine that you're hitting his head. Obviously in boxing most of the punches are hit on the head, so imagine that there is an opponent in front of you while you're shadow boxing. So that's that for shadow boxing. Let's get on to bag work or tire, hitting the tire if you don't have a bag. All right. So for bag work, you can do 3 minute 4 rounds with 1 minute break or rest in between them. So yeah, I'll just add a text here for your bag work routine. All right. So that's that. I think it's better to make a different video on punches and how to throw jab, how to throw cross, all that stuff. Yeah. Also, record yourself while you're shadow boxing or while you're doing bag work to assess how you are looking while you're punching. All right. I think if it's better to record yourself mainly while you're shadow boxing, you can sit down later and watch that video and assess yourself how you're looking, or are your punches actually looking good, or are you throwing with speed and accuracy. I'll just make a separate video on how to throw a jab, cross, all that. All right. So that's it for today. Make sure you follow the routine I gave you. First, get yourself a bag, or if you can't afford a bag, get yourself a tire and a rope. All right. Get yourself some gloves and get yourself some wraps, because obviously you'll be hitting the bag and tire a lot. Your hands are actually quite delicate. Okay, they can get bust open when you're, they can just get open and you can see that both. And if you keep hitting, even if your hand gets open, you can have like some serious damage, permanent damage. You'll get to a point where you can't even punch. I've seen this happen a lot in boxing. So it's better to wrap your hands and put on those gloves and then hit that bag. So yeah, follow this routine, you'll get better at boxing. You'll also build a decent cardio. This you'll build a decent gas tank, and you'll also be able to last longer in street fights or fights. Okay, this will help you even if you're uh, doing boxing at gym. So that's it. You should follow this routine I gave you.